Today I'm going to begin explaining the Shikshashtak, also called the Ashtapadi of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. 8 shloks said by Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji that encapsulates the essence of devotional feelings. It explains practically how are we supposed to love Radha and Krishna. Today I'll start with a shlok that has to do with what to ask for from God. Or, in this case, what not to ask for. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamaye, mama janmani janmani shvare, bhavatad bhaktirahai tuki tvai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji is praying to Shri Krishna, even though he himself is the avatar of Krishna, but he's playing the part of a devotee. So he says, "O Krishna, I am not asking you for dhan, na dhanam. Dhan means wealth. Na janam. I'm not asking you for a big family. Kavitam va. I'm not asking you that I should become a famous poet, writer, orator, and people should know me and follow me. Na sundarim. I'm not asking you for a beautiful wife. I'm not asking you for any of these things. Janmani, janmani. He says, I'm only asking you for one thing, that life after life after life, I should get your ahaituki bhakti. Ahaituki bhakti means selfless, unconditional love for you. He's only asking for one thing. Please make me so that life after life, I love you with selfless, unconditional devotion. The statement life after life also indicates that he's not even asking for mukti. He's not saying, take me out of this world. There's too much coronavirus over here. Take me out of this world. He says, let me be born again and again in this world in any situation. With wealth, without wealth. With a family, without a family. With a beautiful wife, without a beautiful wife. Famous, infamous. Let me be born in any situation, again and again in this world, but with one condition, that I love you unconditionally. I have ahaituki bhakti for you. This is a very important devotional sentiment, and it is repeated in many places throughout our scriptures, like in the Bhagavatam. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hyudahritam ahaitukim. The word ahaituki comes here also. Ahaitukya pratihata ya bhakti purushottame Bhagavatam. The description of bhakti in the Bhagavatam says it should be nirguna, meaning we shouldn't ask for any worldly thing. It should be ahaituki, selfless, unconditional. And it should be apratihata, continuous. That is true bhakti. At another place in the Bhagavatam, it is stated, Savai punsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaitukyavavahita yayatma samprasidati. The true dharma, the highest dharma of a soul is to have bhakti for Shri Krishna, but that bhakti should be ahaituki and it should be avyavahit. Avyavahit means without the mixture or without the influence of any other path or practice, just pure selfless bhakti. Naradji also explains in his Narad Bhakti Darshan that bhakti should be gunarahitam kamanarahitam pratikshana vardhamanam avichhinnam sukshmataram anubhava roopam. He uses the word nirguna, just like in the Bhagavatam, which means not asking for anything, and also not loving the beloved for their qualities. Kamanarahitam, having no desire from the beloved. And avichinnam, continuous devotion. So here in this shlok by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji, he's saying, nadhanam. I don't want wealth. I'm not asking you for wealth. There's another example from the Bhagavatam where the opposite of asking for wealth occurred. When Shri Krishna offered a boon to Queen Kunti, she said, Vipadah santu na shashvat tatra tatra Jagadguru Bhavato darshanam yatsya dapunar bhava darshanam. Mera sab kuch chheen lo. She asked for a very interesting boon. Take everything away from me. Krishna, give me misfortune at every step of my life. Why? Janmaishwarya shruta shribhi redhamana madah puman naivar hatya vidhatum vai tvama kinchana gocharam. Bhagavatam. She explained that whenever a person has something good or great, they naturally develop a pride of that thing. And the pride may be so subtle they don't even realize they have it. She gives a few examples. She says some people receive a birth in a very respectable family. Then they carry that subtle or sometimes not so subtle pride that I'm from that family. That pride keeps them away from you, Krishna. Because tvama kinchana gocharam, you are attainable by those who feel destitute. Those who feel they have nothing and are nothing without you. They receive your grace. And the one who feels pride in something, even if it's one thing, that pride will prevent them from surrendering to you, Krishna. Because they feel that really they don't need you. Oh, I'm from this great family. And they carry that pride around in their heart. Instead, they should have this pride, that the owner and Lord of uncountable Brahmans lives in my heart. And He's giving life to me. He's my Father. My divine Father, Shri Krishna, is right here. We should have that pride and walk around just like, the Prime Minister's son or President's son or daughter walk around with that pride. Do you know who I am? We should have that pride that Krishna is our father, Radha is our mother, and they're sitting right here inside of us. So devotional pride is healthy, but worldly pride keeps us from surrendering to Krishna. Even if someone is slightly handsome or beautiful, not even world-topping class of beauty, just maybe in, slightly better than average. They look at themselves in the mirror and feel pride. I'm more beautiful than that person. Oh, this person just looked at me. They think I'm handsome. That pride also distracts us from surrendering to Shri Krishna. Kunti Devi went on to say, if somebody has power and influence in the world, then even if they try not to, they'll have a pride in that. And that will prevent them from surrendering to you, Krishna. So whatever I have, take it away from me. We normally do the opposite. We think we know better than Krishna. When we pray to him, we ask him for all the things we think he's forgotten to give us. You might have overlooked this thing. Although Ved says, Yah sarvagya sarvavidyasya jnanamayan tapa, Mundakopanishad, you're all-knowing. You're the very form of knowledge. But I think you might have overlooked this one thing. I don't have enough money. I need a promotion. I need a green card. Make me healthy. Make my mother healthy. Take this disease away. Help me with this suffering, that suffering. We're always asking, as if we know better than him. But of course we don't. Gya gyau dvavaja vishani shavaja hyeka bhoktri bhogyartha yukta. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, he is Gya, we're Agya. He is Ish, we're Anish. He has all the power, we have no power. He has all the knowledge, we're ignorant. And we're telling him what's best. We are like a 2-year-old who just sees a shiny toy and thinks, oh, I'll play with that. That 2-year-old doesn't realize that shiny toy is a sharp knife. Yeah, it's shiny, but it's also sharp. So the 2-year-old starts crawling towards that knife, and the mother snatches it away. And the child starts crying. You don't love me. What kind of a mother do I have? The child is thinking all these things and crying. I wanted that thing. I wanted to play with it. Now you made me sad. Look, I'm crying. This is exactly how we are in the world. We think we want that thing, and if we get that thing, everything is going to be okay. And Krishna sees, oh, if he gets this thing, if he gets $1 million, he's going to forget about me totally. Imagine, you think, oh no, it wouldn't happen to me. Imagine even if you're a staunch devotee of Shri Krishna, what if you won the lottery today? $500 million. Just you, one winner. You're telling me you wouldn't be a little distracted today from your devotion? Dreaming all the ways you're going to spend that $500 million? Krishna sees those dangers. He knows all we need is 2 rotis and a change of clothes and a roof over our head. That's all we need to get by in this world. Anything else is a distraction. And we're just like that child. We pick up one toy, play with it for a while, throw it down, grab the next colorful, shiny thing we see, play with it, throw it away, look for something else. And in all of this, we forget about Shri Krishna. Tulsidas ji says, Balihari va dukh ki jo pal pal naam rataaya, sukh ke mathe sil pare sil paro, naam hi te jaaya, balihari va dukh ki jo pal pal naam rataaya. Let that thing, no matter how good it is, no matter how much pleasure it gives me, if it makes me forget you, let that thing be taken away from me. Let that thing be destroyed. And high praise to that suffering that makes me remember you. They were telling me in New York recently, due to the new regulations just in the last couple days. We had to close the mandir to the public in New York. But up until then, I was getting reports that the traffic of people coming in during the day was much higher. Why? More suffering. Now, they're calling New York ground zero for the coronavirus in America. So people in New York are, not enjoying themselves as much in the worldly sense of things. So I was getting reports, oh yeah, today so many people came in and they were praying. So suffering does make the average person think of God more. And when we get more pleasures, when life is easier, then we tend to be more distracted. We play with all the toys, all the shiny toys of this world, and that distracts us from our true goal of attaining Radha Krishna in this life. What do we really need in this world? Just enough to keep our body going. That's it. But we strive for much, much more, believing that if I get more of this world, I'll get more happiness. And Krishna says, Tam bhranshayami sampadbhyo yasya chechamyanugraham. Bhagavatam. He's telling Indra, after he embarrassed him through the Govardhan Leela. Think of how embarrassed Indra was. The ruler of Swarg, king of the celestial gods. And a small boy defeated him. Indra's power was exhausted and he realized, I'm nothing in front of Krishna. He was totally embarrassed. Krishna says, the one I want to grace, I topple them from their throne. I bring them down from their status. I make them lose their status or their power or their influence. Because all of those things, Indra, you forgot about me because of all of that. Now you remember me. So now go back and fulfill your duty as a seva to me, thinking that I'm the real Indra and you're just filling the position for me. So the point of all of this is we always believe that more of the world is a better thing. More enjoyments, more possessions, more comfort, fewer problems. We believe this to be a good thing, and we always ask God to help us achieve those things. But the actual spiritual philosophy tells us that in fact those things may not be what's best for us. Krishna knows what's best for us, and He's giving us just enough comfort and just enough pain and suffering to keep us on the straight and narrow, to keep us on the path. Pain and struggling doesn't feel good at the time, but it might be exactly what we need at that time. And when we need a little bit of relief or comfort, He makes sure to give us that at the right time as well. He's always helping us behind the scenes. Imagine you get into a car and you're going from point A to point B, and along the way, how many different factors which are out of your control are just unfolding. Other drivers. What if another driver falls asleep? What if another driver was drinking and now they're driving? What if another driver has a heart attack or a stroke or a seizure while they're driving? What if someone fell asleep while driving? What if the roads are slippery? What if somebody's kid in the back seat distracts them and they go through a stop sign? So many factors, so many unknowns. Just you're getting from point A to point B and you made it. Hey, Bhagwan, amazing. How did you get in your car and make it from here to there? With all those other people and their lives and their distractions and everything that's going on, and yet you made it. And every once in a while, something happens. All of those variables and all of those factors come together in such a way that an accident does happen. That is also Krishna's grace. Not getting in an accident was Krishna's grace, and getting in an accident was Krishna's grace. How could all of those factors have come together in exactly the right way at exactly the right time to have you get in that accident? You had to be in that place at that exact second for that accident to happen. How could that have happened unless it was Krishna's grace? So what happened? Oh, you got some physical injuries? Okay, now you have to deal with that. Maybe that was in your destiny. And it had to happen because of something from your past life. Okay, now deal with it. That's also Krishna's grace. Krishna gives us the outcome of our good actions. He gives us the outcome of our bhakti, and he gives us the outcome of our bad actions. But the question is, how do we know which is the outcome of a good action and which is the outcome of a bad action? We think, oh, getting in a car accident must have been a really bad action I did. And now this is the punishment I'm getting. How do you know winning the lottery isn't a punishment? We think winning the lottery I must have done something really good. Yeah, but because of winning the lottery, how people end up going to self-help groups. Did you know there are self-help groups for people who have won the lottery? Lottery winners get together and commiserate because their life became so horrible after winning the lottery. So many fights in their family, people saying, give me money, no, give me money. Drug problems, all kinds of things. They started using their money for wrong things, or they lost everything. And they look back and say, I was much better off before winning the lottery. So we think winning the lottery is God's grace and getting in an accident must be God's anger. And it could be the exact opposite. How do we know? Getting in an accident might turn out to be the very best thing that ever happened to us. And winning the lottery might turn out to be the very worst thing that ever happened to us. We don't know. A bad thing could lead to something good down the road, and a good thing could lead to something bad down the road. In fact, it's always best to say it's too soon to tell. You won the lottery. Is that a good thing? It's too soon to tell. I got in an accident. Is that a bad thing? I don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. You have to see what else happens down through the years as a result of that. But one thing is for sure, it's all His grace. He knows exactly what to give us at what time, good or bad. Along these same lines, especially when something like this current epidemic, pandemic is happening in the world, people tend to question God's kindness and graciousness or goodness. On a micro level, we can say, oh, if God loves me, how did He let this accident happen to me, right? But I was just explaining that you can't assume that something bad is God's anger upon you. It's all His grace. Well, what about on a macro level? Someone could question God. How could a kind God allow suffering in this world? How could a perfect God create an imperfect world? If God is all powerful, why doesn't He make everything perfect in this world? These are common questions that almost every person has, and some people who choose not to believe in God use this as an argument against God. If God was real, your God is supposed to be all-powerful and all-knowing and all-kind, then why would such a God create such an imperfect world full of so much suffering? So let's understand the philosophy behind it. Is God the creator of this world? Yes and no. No and yes. God is Srishti Karta, for sure. He causes Srishti to happen. But what is the meaning of the word Srishti? To release. Srij. Srij Visarge. That's the root of the word Srishti. So Srij Visarge means to produce something that was previously there, but you hid it, and now you're just releasing it. That's what God does with the world. Like, let's say there are some boys playing, and one of the boys sees a makhi flying around, and he grabs it. He's got a quick hand. You have to know the technique. Yeah, the houseflies, those makhis, when they sit on something, when they get scared, they fly back. They take off and fly back. So if you want to catch it, if it's facing this way, you go over the top of it, like that, and it'll fly right into your hand. So let's say a boy caught a makhi like that, but his friends didn't see him. So he says, "Oh, did you know I learned magic? Yeah, I can make a fly appear out of my hand." I say, "No way." He says, "Yeah, watch this." And he says some mantra and says, and the fly flies out of his hand. And all the boys think, "Oh, wow, what magic. He made a fly out of nothing." But actually, he captured it and released it. So we call God the creator, but he's not the creator. He captures the universe and releases the universe. That's it. Surya chandrama saudhata yatha purvamakalpayat. Rigved. Just like before, God produces it again. So when God does pralay, lay means when something merges in. So God does pralay, the whole world, the whole universe merges into him in a subtle form. That's called pralay or mahapralay. And then after some time he does srishti. In other words, he releases it. What is he releasing? The Mayic energy. The Mayic energy was previously evolved into the physical form of the universe. But he dissolved it into a subtle form that seems like nothing because all the physical forms disappeared, but it's not nothing. It's still there in a seed form, in an absolutely subtle form. And then he activates the Mayic energy, and the universe is released again. Over and over again, this cycle takes place. When did it begin? It never began. If there was a beginning, then you could call God the creator. But he never created Maya. Ajam ekam lohit shukla krishnam vahvi praja srijamanam sarupa ajo hyeko jushmano nushete jahatyenam bhukta bhogam ajonya. Shvetashvatara says Maya is aja. Maya never began. God is Aj, he never began. Souls are Aj, we never began. So all three, God, the souls, and Maya, have existed since eternity. Then when was God created? Never. When were souls born? Never. We've been here forever. And when was Maya created? Never. Maya has also been here forever. The only thing that changes is what phase is Maya in currently? Is it in the phase of Srishti or is it in the phase of Pralay? Currently it's Srishti. After some time, Pralay will happen. During Pralay, all the souls who aren't God realized, all of us, we stay within God, and we're also dormant during that time. And when he does Srishti, the universe is produced, and the souls are sent forth to take birth again. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisam vishanti tad brahma. Taittiriya Upanishad. We come from God. We're currently existing within God, and we return to God during Pralay, but then he sends us out again. And this happens over and over and over again. What's the point of all of this? God didn't make us good or bad. We're inherently good because we're souls, and our souls are Satchit Anand, just like God. But our mind is made of Maya, and Maya is made of Sattva, Raj, Tam, the good and bad. Sattva, good, Tam, bad, Raj, in between. The good and bad qualities of Maya, Sattva, Raj, Tam, this is inherent in Maya. With these three qualities, everything in this world is produced. From the most subtle thing, our mind, to a less subtle thing, an electron, to a less subtle thing, a physical object that we can see. They're all a product of these three guna, these three qualities of Maya, Sattva, Raj, Tam. So our mind inherently has Sattva, Raj, Tam in it, which means we have the potential for good and evil in our own mind. The soul is divine, but the mind is Mayic, and Mayic things are always a combination of good and bad. Why did God make good and bad? He didn't make good and bad. I told you, Maya is eternal, and these are the three eternal qualities of Maya, Sattva, Raj, Tam. So if God didn't make Maya, God didn't make Sattva, Raj, Tam. In other words, God didn't create good and bad. They're eternal qualities of Maya. And since our mind is made of Maya, we inherently have the potential to develop good qualities or bad qualities, but the choice is ours. God gives life to us and gives us the power to think and perform actions, but we determine. Our decision every moment determines whether we become more good or more bad. Are we evolving the sattvic or rajas or tamas quality of our mind? That is entirely up to us. Do we perform sattvic karma, rajas karma, or tamas karma? It's entirely up to us. Do we do bhakti? That's also our choice. And God gives us the results. So he didn't create good or bad, nor does he interfere and cause us to perform good or bad actions. But it is only his grace that he gives us the consequences of those actions. Because without somebody to give us the consequences of our actions, nothing we do in this life would have any value or any meaning. Take the best thing that a person could do, bhakti. You did a certain amount of bhakti in this life. You purified your antahakaran a certain amount through that bhakti. And you earned a certain amount of devotional capital and created devotional sanskars through that bhakti. Now you die and you go to your next life. Who's going to remember that you did bhakti in your last life? Who's going to remember how much you loved Krishna in your last life? Who's going to remember that you created all those devotional sanskars? Krishna takes care of all of that. He puts you in the exact same place where you left off. However much love you had developed for him, He automatically instills that in your mind. Those devotional sanskars that you created, He activates those so that they influence your mind in a devotional way. That devotional capital that you saved up because of your bhakti, He gives you the interest on that. He gives you the outcome of that in your next life by providing devotional opportunities for you to meet a saint, to find out about the true path of bhakti again in your next life. If He didn't give us the consequences of our actions, none of that would be possible, and no one could ever become God realized, and no one would ever have any fear of doing anything wrong, because we would also know I won't get the outcome of my bad actions either. I won't get the outcome of my bhakti, nor will I get the outcome of my bad actions, so what does it matter what I do? Who's going to stop me? Who cares? This type of attitude could lead to any type of behavior. There's no limit to the extent of evil a person could do if they believe they'll never receive the consequences of those actions. So it is only God's grace that God gives us all the outcomes of our actions, both good and bad. But God didn't make us do the good or the bad thing, and God didn't create good or bad. Good and bad are inherent in Maya, and since our mind is Mayic, so we just have that inborn capability for good and evil. But it's up to us which of these we develop and which types of actions we perform. So God is not responsible for our actions, and God is not responsible for the existence of good or bad. God cannot be blamed that, oh God, why did you make suffering in this world? God will say, why did you do a bad action? You're only suffering the consequences of that. Okay, but why is there even a potential for suffering in this world? Because there's sattva-raj-tam. Sattva-raj-tam means there's potential for pleasure and pain. There's potential for comfort and suffering. Automatically in the world. It's built in. It's inherent as qualities of Maya. So if God had created Maya, then you could say, why did you create an imperfect world? But He hasn't created Maya. Maya eternally exists and has this inherent potential for suffering and pleasure built into it. How much we receive and when, it has to do with what karma we have performed in the past, and also exactly what God thinks or knows is best for us at that exact time. So what does all of this mean? Well, we need to apply this philosophy in times like this, when it's easy to start blaming God. Oh God, how could you let the world come in such a situation? We have to understand that everything is happening in exactly the right way. It's hard for some people to accept that. It doesn't matter. There have been so many ups and downs in this world, so many disasters, and so many great things that have happened. The world keeps going around. Night will be followed by day, and day will be followed by night. It goes on and on. Things go up and down. It's the nature of the world. Good is followed by bad. Bad is followed by good. But we as devotees need to hang on to this philosophy and maintain an equilibrium in our mind. So we're not affected by the good. If you win the lottery, you shouldn't even feel one iota of excitement. It's money. Big deal. I already had enough money. I'll give it away. And if something bad happens, even one trace of sadness shouldn't come in the mind. Yeah, a lot of bad things have happened in my life. I'm still here. It was time for something quote unquote bad to happen. Is it bad? I don't know. It's too soon to tell. So you keep that philosophy in your mind and you don't get disturbed by good things happening or bad things happening. You just know, I have to do sadhana. That's it. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktirahaitu tvai. So I explained some of the philosophy of this shlok today, this shlok from the Shikshashtak of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. I told you that we shouldn't ask him for anything. We shouldn't request him to help us with any situation even. We should remain constant. We should remain reposed in our mind in all situations. Just apply this philosophy and don't ask God for any worldly thing, but develop feelings of ahaituki bhakti. This is the other part that I have to explain next week. I'll continue this next Sunday. What does it mean to love him unconditionally? I'll explain that through some examples, and also talk about one more thing regarding the outcomes of our karma. One thing I didn't touch on today is that there's actually a collective karma for a family. In other words, a collective destiny for a family, not just individual destinies. There's a collective destiny on a family level, community level, municipal level, state level, national level, earth level. Even all the souls living on the same earth, there's a collective destiny that affects us in certain ways. So certain things may happen to us because of our individual destiny, and certain things may happen due to our collective destiny. But I'll explain all of that next week. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki. So now we'll be finishing with the Arti. We can all stand for Arti. Jayati Jagadguru Guruvar ki, Gavo mili aarti rasik var ki, Gavo gavo mili aarti rasik var ki. Guru pad nakh mani chandrika prakash, जाके उर बसे ताके मोहतम नाश, जाके माथ नाथ तब हाथ करवास, ताते होय माया मोह सब ही निरास, पावे गति मति रति राधावर की, गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गावो गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। अरे मन मूढ़ छाणु नारी नर हाथ, गुरु बिनु ब्रह्म श्याम न देंगे साथ, कोमल कृपालु बड़े कृपा सिंधु नाथ, पाके ने आज तू अनाथ हो सनाथ, इन्हीं के अधीन कृपा गिरिधर की, गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की, गावो गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। भक्ति योग रस अवतार अभिराम, करि निगमागम समन्वय ललाम। श्यामा श्याम नाम रूप लीला गुण धाम। बाँटि रहे प्रेम निष्काम बिनु दाम। हो रही सफल काया नारी नर की। गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गावो गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। लली लाल लीला का सलोना सुविलास। छाया दिव्य दृष्टि बीच प्रेम का प्रकाश। वैसा ही विनोद वही मंजू मृदुहास। करें बस बर बस उच्च अट्टहास। झूमी चले चाल वही नटवर की। गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गावो गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। जयति जगद्गुरु वर की। गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। गावो गावो मिली आरती रसिक वर की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। दुमुन सिर कनक मुकुट झलकै। दुमुन श्रुति कुंडल भल हलकै। दुमुन दृग प्रेम सुधा छलकै। चसीले बैन रसीले नैन गसीले सैन। दुमुन मैनन मन हारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। दुमुनि दृग चितवनी परवारी। दुमुनि लट लट कनि छवि न्यारी। दुमुनि भाव मट कनि अति प्यारी। रसन मुख पान हसन मुस्कान। दसन दमकान दूनी बेसर छवि न्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। एक उर पीतांबर फरै। एक उर नीलांबर लहरै। दुमुन उर लर मोतिन छरै। कंकनन खनक किंकिनिन झनक नूपुरन भनक। धुन रुन झुन धुनि प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की। एक सिर मोर मुकुट राजै। एक सिर चूनरी छवि छाजै। दुमुन सिर तिरछे भल भ्राजै। संग ब्रज बाल लाडली लाल बागल डाल। कृपालु दुमुन दृग चारी की की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की बनवारी नथवारी की मत प्रेयान राधिका प्रेयान मद्धवो राधिका धव तस्मादपि गरीयान्यो कृपालुर्मे जगद्गुरु गुरुं भजति श्रीकृष्णः श्रीकृष्णं भजते गुरुः सिद्धान्ततस्त्व भेदेपि कृपालुर्मे गुरुर्महान् अशरण शरण महाप्रभो तुम स्वामी हम दास की जय कृपा कृपालु मम दीजय गुरु सहवास तुम दीनन रखवार हम अहंकार अवतार अस करु कृपा कृपालु अब दीन बनु सरकार हाँ ऐसो हाँ पतित जो पतित न आपुहि मान ऐसे पतित विचित्र को पावन करु तब जान सबे भिखारी जगत के जेतिक नातेदार दिव्य प्रेम आनंद के तुम एक साहूकार वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की श्री रासेश्वरी राधा रानी की जगद्गुरु श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की श्री भक्ति धाम की श्री राधा माधव धाम की जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे।